Hi there, this is Craig from Rock Guitar Training. What we're going to do in this video is check out a really interesting way of playing the D minor pentatonic scale. Like the normal way of playing pentatonics involves playing two notes on every string, but what we're going to do in this lesson is combine two of the traditional fingerings to create a three note per string fingering. Now, rather than try and explain the concept to you here, what I'm going to do is zoom in and I'll explain it when we've got a close-up. Right, now that I've zoomed in, let's see how the fingering works. So what we'll be doing is combining the first fingering and the second fingering of the D minor pentatonic scale, and it's probably a good idea if I quickly play through those just to quickly review. So for the fingering one, we'll be starting at the 10th fret on the low E string, and we'll basically be going 10, 13, and then we'll do 10, 12 on the A string, 10, 12 on the D string, 10, 12, 10, 13, and 10, 13. Now, if you don't know that fingering, you should stop the video now and sort of go and learn these fingerings, because it's very important that you learn the basics before working on these unison pentatonic fingerings. So that's fingering one, and then let's look at fingering two. So we'll play the 13th fret on the low E string, the 15th, the 12th, the 15th, the 12th and the 15th, the 12th and the 14th, the 13th and the 15th, and the 13th and the 15th. Again, you should already know that fingering. Now the way it works is we're going to combine those two fingerings together, and so that means we're going to have to play three notes on every string. So what we're going to do is we'll play the D note, F note and G note on the low E string. So that's 10, 13, 15. And then we go to the A string and play the G, the A and the C. And that's 10th fret, 12th fret, 15th fret. And then we play the same frets on the D string, so that would give us C, D and F. And then we move to the G string and play the 10th fret, 12th fret and 14th fret. So that's F, G and A. And then we move to the B string and play the 10th fret, 13th fret and 15th fret. So that's the notes A, C and D. And then we move to the thin E string and play the same frets. So that will give us D, F and G. So what I recommend doing as you learn this fingering is actually working out the notes of what you're learning. And the reason why that's important is you'll notice how each time you change strings, you're actually playing the same note twice. So as an example, if we go D, F and G on the low E string, so that last note there at the 15th fret is a G note, and when we move to the next string to play the three notes, that note there is a G note. So that's actually a thing called a unison in music. So if I play those two notes together, okay, I'm slightly out of tune, but they should sound roughly the same. So we've got G and G. And then when we play through the next string, so that highest note on the A string is a C note, and the lowest note that we play on the D string is a C note. So we're going C, C. And then if we play the notes on the D string, that highest sounding note there at the 15th fret is an F, and the first note we play on the G string is also an F. And then we play G, and then A at the 14th fret on the G string. And then when we move to the B string, we also play an A note. play the highest sounding note on the B string, which is a D note, we also play the D note when we move to the thin E string. So that's kind of the weird thing about these unison fingerings, is that every time you change strings, you're playing the same note twice. But what I'll be doing later on is giving you an example to show you how you can avoid those unison notes. But at this point in time, what I'd like you to do is just memorize this fingering. And so don't just learn where your fingers are going, you need to also memorize the notes. So that will help you understand the fingering much better. Oh well, that's the fingering. Be sure to memorize the fingering. Don't just learn where your fingers go, learn where the notes go. And it would also be a great idea to maybe try and make up some of your own guitar licks that use the fingering. Because, you know, you don't really want to just learn scales, you want to use the scales as a tool to create music. And one last thing before I go is I should mention that if you go to my website now, you can check out the full lesson. So I've got some text, and I've got fretboard diagrams and tab, and a lot more explanation. There's also an example lick that you can check out on that lesson. So there should be a link below this video, so just click on the link now and you'll get taken to my website.